Thank you for watching this short video. It's more of a heart reflection for those who are on the spiritual journey. I received a lovely email this morning from one of the friends of the community who actually lives in America and who today is celebrating Thanksgiving Day. But it began by saying, "We shall sit around the table, but I don't know what to give thanks for." And then I felt challenged in a good way, because we have so much to thank God for, don't we? Our life. It may not be the life that we had dreamed of, or our thinking mind convinced us that we should be living. For as a young boy, I always had an aspiration to be able to stand on a stage and sing like Mario Lanza. Well, that's as far as it went, I'm afraid. But something amazing happened on December the 21st, 2012. It was the dawn of the new Aquarius. It was the coming of the cosmic Christ, a time of heart consciousness, because prior to that we lived in the Piscean age, where we came to everything through the head. The head center was really the conductor of the orchestra. But from the 21st of December, it is my belief, and I've seen its effectiveness, not only in my life, but in the lives of those who are members of our community around the world. It's a heart consciousness. And when we surrender our heart to God, we receive an amazing gift. It's a gift of welcome. It's a gift that does not condemn us, regardless of the life we've lived. And we are welcomed into the family fold of divine oneness. So there's been an energetic shift within all of us, where our DNA strands have been reactivated to come back to the heart. But today what is so alarming is that many people feel and believe that they shouldn't have to undergo trials or tribulation, that life should be hunky-dory. But that's not living, is it? Because the mistakes we make, we hopefully learn from them. And the tragedies that we experience in our lives, such as bereavement, loss of job, or the loss of a loving relationship, maybe the death of a child, as traumatic as that may be. And having nursed for so many years, I remember really well when I worked on the burns unit for babies in 1972. I was a second-year student nurse, and I witnessed some really nasty cases of severe burns to little babies from as young as 4 weeks old to 7 years old. And I couldn't comprehend why a loving God would allow this. Then I was a nursing monk. But I guess I came to it from my head, because I was immature myself. And as I grow older, what I'm learning is that God asks nothing of you or me, only one thing: to surrender our heart, to embrace our truth, to face our demons, our shadows, to name them, to bless them, and to give them to God. But the thinking mind won't let you do that, because it will convince you that you're a failure, that you've something to be ashamed of. I know. I've been there, done that, wore the t-shirt, and even eaten the rock and lost my teeth, jokingly. We are in an exciting time in the spiritual journey. Christ consciousness, you've heard it mentioned, you'll have read about it. It's a heart consciousness. It's where we bring the mind and the many voices that unsettle us and disturb us into the heart. And that is the core essence of the esoteric teachings of the Therapeutae Essenes of Mount Sinai. And Jesus was a Nazarene Essene. Yes, he was. And that teaching does something amazing when you say the affirmations twice a day for 30 days. It reprograms a negative mindset that is hostile to the Spirit of God. I know, because for many years I lived in denial, even as a nursing monk. I never felt good enough. And I convinced myself I was second-rate, all because of entertaining the thoughts of the mind, which put me down, incarcerated me into a life of misery, and to become a rescuer, to please other people at the expense of making myself deeply miserable. But Christ consciousness is heart consciousness. It asks you on the day of Thanksgiving to sit at the table with your loved ones and to give thanks to God for your blessings. Yes, for your blessings. The free running water for a start, the air that you breathe, the rays of brother sun and sister moon, the love of good friends, children, grandchildren. And then you look into your spiritual journey and you see how God has used certain people to touch you when you're down. Like that strange phone call out of the blue. It's not strange, it's synchronistic. Because you and I have a guardian angel assigned to us from the moment of our birth, and to walk with us, guiding us, nurturing us. But today it's so distressing when you hear so many people say, well, who is this God? Because we never grew up in a family that believed in God. We went to school and we never even covered the subject. We've got a generation of beautiful souls who are children of God, who are going through life like lost sheep. But coming back to Thanksgiving, in the words of Jesus, if I remember them correctly, he said, if I give you blessings and good things, why not receive the difficult, challenging things that I send you? And I've realized that myself when I became very ill 16 years ago. I found it very difficult to thank God for the impact that Prozac had on my life, where I developed bipolar, where I lost my job as a nurse, and where I became registered disabled. I found it extremely difficult. And then, when I was praying, Lord, why me? Why am I suffering like this? I've always lived a good life. I've always tried to be there for the wounded, the sick, in your name. And then he said quietly to my heart, why not you? And from that moment on, I've blessed my suffering. That sounds crazy talk, but I bless my suffering. I bless my disability. I don't want to be a martyr. I don't do pain. And yet I've nursed for 38 years, and 12 of those years was as a senior nurse in palliative care and pain management. I'm a coward when it comes to pain. But something has happened in the spiritual journey. The love of your God and the beloved empowers you in your heart to reawaken all that you are, to give thanks to God, and to celebrate your uniqueness, your baggage, your demons, your shadows, and to bless every eventuality in your life. So yes, there is an energetic shift of consciousness that's even sweeping the church and religion, where the hierarchies of Buddhism, Hindu, Sikh, Christianity, and particularly in the Catholic Church, because I am a Catholic Christian and I love my church. But even the higher echelons of the church within the Vatican is being challenged as well because of all the scandals. But what God is trying to do here is to make it more transparent, to get rid of the two-faced ambassadors and generate disciples of love. And we have an exceptional man in charge, Papa Francis. He is transparent, but he comes to the children of God with a loving heart, and he speaks the truth, like Francis of Assisi, and like many of the great spiritual teachers. They don't buy into hypocrisy. They walk the talk, whereas for generations so many have talked the walk. Today the children of God are being liberated by the cosmic Christ, by embracing Christ consciousness, which is a consciousness of transparency, rooted in divine love. I wish you and bless you, and I pray that you have a blessed Thanksgiving Day. And when you pray over the turkey and all the trimmings, remember what I've shared. We give thanks to God for every eventuality in our life, the good news and the bad news, because out of tragedy, God can perform many miracles, but we have to trust. Bless you.